Okay, so the sixth question is talking about some formatting that word processing text is shown below. So what they're asking is like to match the icons that is given to you in the bottom part and how things are going to happen. So the the label A is underlined, right? So A is going to go with the Q, right? Which is for underlining. And square kilometer, that's the superscript, which means the S. So this goes with S. And the largest is being italicized, right? So that means this. C goes with the P. And here, it's the bullets. And this is U, right? So this is the U that is we need to apply when the bullets are need to be applied. So it goes like that. For A it is Q, for B it is S, for C it is P, and for D it is U. So let's go with the marking scheme as well. Yes, in the sixth one, for A it is Q, B it is S, C it is P, and D it is U. So like it says, you can take 2 marks if all 4 are correct, or either if you got 3 correct, still they are going to give the 2 marks. For 1 and 2, it's only 1 mark. Right, and here we go. The next question. Number 7, consider the following database table listing monthly sales and communication of sales representative. Right, so it is saying the month, the sales rep ID, the total sales, and the commission. They have given a note in the above table, sales rep ID represents the identifier of the sales representative. Right? So in the part 8 is asking which 2 fields should be chosen to make the primary key of the above table. So as we can see, we can't take month alone because it is being repeated in these 2 scenarios. And even the sales rep, it is being repeated over here as well as here. So we can't take any particular column alone. Total sales and commission, since they are figures, we are not going to choose them as the primary keys. So that means we got the option of creating a composite key, which is month plus sales rep ID, right? So the answer for the A is going to be month plus sales rep ID, or month comma sales rep ID. And for part B, they are asking like write down the most suitable data types for the month field. For the month field, since it is text based, you have to go with the text. For the total sales, it has a currency symbol, so we can go with the currency as well. Right, so if you look into the marking scheme, it gives you the same thing. Right, so month and sales rep ID, for that they will give you 1 mark, and same text for the month and currency for the total sales will give you another mark. Okay. Moving to the eighth one. So in the eighth question, it's the flow chart question. It says following flow chart is used to input marks of 3 subjects. Then it calculates and displays the average of those marks and the pass-fail status. To be considered for a pass, the average should be greater than or equal to 40. Identify the correct statement for each of the labels P, Q, and R and S in the flow chart from the table given below. Write down each label and its matching statement number. Okay, so you have to take 3 marks, you have to calculate the average and check whether it is larger than or equals to 40. Then they are pass, otherwise they are fail. So if you does it are you talking about the data types in the database question, or are you talking to that in this? Yeah, no. When it comes to the database lesson, does it? We are going to refer to the database jargon. In database, they have the data types in this manner. Let me show you. Right, so when a particular table needs to be designed, we are given the data types from here. Like it has text, long text, short text, the number, the date, time, the currency, year, snow type, auto number, those kind of things. So we generally refer into these things, does it? Not the string variables and all these things. They are like kind of a programming language. Got it, does it? Okay, right. So when it comes to the flow chart, they have started this. They take the inputs M1, M2, and M3 as 3 inputs. The process here, there is a particular process to be done. So next they are showing the average. So to show the average, you have to calculate the average. So calculating the average goes on number 1 statement. So this should be number 1. For P, it's number 1 statement. Then you can display the average. Then using that average, you can do the decision whether it is a pass student or a fail student. So for this decision box, definitely it's going to be a condition. So condition goes over here. Is average less than 40? So with Q it's 4. Right? Is average less than 40? Right? And if the condition is that if it is true, if this question is supposed to be true, then it means that student is going to have a fail. Right? That's the fail should be displayed. Right? So on the years part, that means for S, it should be the second option. Right? And on the no part, for R, it should be the third option. Right? So those are the way that you need to match the things. So for P it is 1, for Q it is 4, for R it is 3, and for S it is 2. Right? So likewise, you can go on like this. right? P1, Q4, R3, and S2. So 2 marks if you got it correctly. Each and every part contains 0.5. And the ninth one, they are asking you to match some texts, right? So let's see how it happens. Yes, it says a tiny illuminated dot of white, black, or any other color which is displayed on a computer screen is called a pixel. Pixel should be the answer. And blank graphics, the image are made up as a collection of lines. So it's the vector graphics which made out of lines. A particular compression reduces the quality of the image. So lossless, you can understand it by the name. I'm sorry, not lossless, lossy. Right, you can understand it by the name. Lossy compression reduces the quality. Lossy means losing the quality, right? Lossy compression. And example for a lossless file format, GIF is an example for a lossless file format. JPEG, a lossy file format. Okay, the 10th one says Kamal sent an email message to Hamid, Meena, Sharma, and Gihan as shown by the email header below. Write down whether the following two statements labeled A and B are true or false. Okay, so this is a very famous question. Gihan can see that Hamid is recipient. So Gihan is the BCC one, Hamid is the main recipient. So BCC will be able to see all main recipient and the carbon copy recipients. But BCC cannot see another BCC, right? In case if the Gihan and the BCC is done for the, let's say, Nimal. So Gihan cannot see the Nimal, Nimal cannot see the Gihan. But both Gihan and Nimal can see Sharma, Hamid, and Meena. That's possible. Right, so Gihan can see that Hamid is a recipient. No, yes, that can be because Gihan is a BCC and Hamid is a normal recipient. Sharma can see that Gihan is a recipient. No, Sharma is a CC, Gihan is a BCC. So of course not. Right. So 2 marks if you got this correctly. So do the calculation and see how much you got out of 20. Right. Yes, 20 out of 20. Anyone? Send me the marks as well, people. Okay, that's it. That's great. Dinyaka, that's great as well. Good. Denuka, very good. Osanda, very good. Osanda, yes. That's a good mark. That's very good. Right. So if you have passed the 15th point, that means you are through. Right, you are ready. Sasrika, it's a very good mark. Okay. So moving to the second one. Some information technology related risks labeled A to D are given below, and you have to match it with the reasons from P to U. Losing user files and folders due to a hard disk failure. Yeah, so what are they trying to identify suitable solution? Yes, they are asking the solution. Losing user files and folders due to hard disk failure. Yes, so you can take regular backups. So for A, it's the P that you need. Computer behaving abnormally after the use of flash drive. Yes, so probably the virus, right? So what you can do is use of antivirus softwares, right? So B can be go with U. Data in a computer connected to the internet access remotely without authorization. Yeah, so if they are trying to access without authorization, you can use a firewall since it is the yeah, can be another problem. It's not talking about data in the computer connected to the internet access remotely without authorization. Yeah, much like suitable answer from this list is going to be a firewall. So this is going to be R. Frequent power supply interruptions to a personal computer. Yeah, so you have to use an UPS. Means T. Right, so those are the answers. Let's check it with the marking scheme. Yeah, for A it is P, B it is U, C it is R, and D it is P. A, P, B, U, C, R, D, T. A, P, B, U, C, R, and D, T, yes. Second one, the 3R techniques is well accepted for waste reduction. Explain this technique with respect to reducing e-waste. So like e-waste means what? First E indicates, I'm sorry, the three in the e-waste, the e-waste means the electronic waste. So we can have it, we can maintain it using the 3R's. The first R indicates the reduce. That means you can give away the unwanted electronic devices to someone else. You can present it, or you can sell it to someone else. So somehow you will be reducing the electronic need that you don't need, and reuse comes next. Like when you are reducing, the one who is buying the electronic product is reusing it, right? And recycling must be done when a particular electronic device is no use anymore, has no use anymore, right? So it needs to be recycled, so it can be taken as the materials, the loads of new computers, right? So let's see what they have said in the marking scheme. Yeah, so here they have said it. Right, so see whether you got these answers. Right. So the next question. Right, answer for the following. Right, one way in which a person can protect spreadsheet on his computer from unauthorized access. Assume the computer is not connected to the internet. So you can set a username and a password. Right, so yeah, they're asking about protecting a spreadsheet. Yes, you can set username and passwords to the computer, and if you want, you can use a third-party tool to lock the particular tool or a particular software which has been locked. If we may only we will given the chance to access it since we know how the algorithm works. Right, so likewise, you can take the answers. A person cannot afford to buy a commercial spreadsheet software for his computer. He has to use spreadsheet software often, and he does not like the expense and the inconvenience of going to an ICT center each time for it. Suggest one thing that he could do fulfill his spreadsheet requirement. What he can easily do is he can use some particular product like Google Sheets, which is a cloud computing concept which is given out. So like that could solve the problem, right? Or else you can go for the free and open source softwares like LibreOffice. And there will be the spreadsheet softwares where it will produce the very similar kind of facilities. Right. Okay, let's cross-check those answers. Right, so using a password for the computer account or spreadsheet, and the one that we wrote now. Yeah, so like those are the two steps that we were talking about. Yeah. Okay, next question. Right, and to facilitate student learning, a school principal wants to start a learning management system in her school using an unused new computer. Write down the benefits that the student can obtain through the LMS. Yes, what kind of benefits that they will do? These things can be taken. Write any one of these things, and don't write the obtaining study notes and supplementary study material together. They considered as one thing. Right. Part D says a student wants to include in his essay a part of the content of the website without intellectual property violation. How can he do it? So he can do these things. He can cite himself, right, and mentioning the rightful owner from where the material has been taken. Or you can do the quoting. And given a reference or a listing of resources, right? And finally obtain permission from the author. So if you have written any one of the answers, 1 mark. Right, then the part E, it says a manager in a Colombo office wants to have a video conference with manager in Jaffna and Mathur branches without everybody, what's this? Coming to a single location. Write down the requirements needed in these locations. Yes, what do we need? We need a multimedia computer or a laptop and communication software and internet. Or you can say computer and webcam and communication softwares and internet. Right, and if you have written any one of the following, can have 2 marks. Okay, so it says an office wants to create a computer network using a hub, 3 computers named server, computer A computer, and a printer using a star topology. Draw the topology diagram. Yes, when you're drawing the star topology, the central device must be at the center, and other devices can be drawn like that. So central device is the important stuff. That's why it's called right. So this is kind of a device which we can connect many like not as much as many, that we like 20 to 30 computers can be installed with a single switch. Right, so for that 1 mark is given. Right, so if you have done it correctly, you are given 1 mark. So see how much you got out of 10. Okay, people, give me a second. Yes, people. So we can continue. So moving to the next question. Yeah, the database one. So the database one is given three different tables, which is the player table, the player team table, and the team table. So in the player table, they have the player details. The team table, they have the team details. The player team table has like which kind of player, which kind of team that they are playing in on which year. So, and they have given a notice, not captain ID is a valid player ID. So like here, over here, this captain ID indicates a valid player ID. Player ID comes over here, right? So in the first one, it says write down the primary key of the team table. Yeah, like when it comes to the team table, the primary key is going to be the team ID. This is the primary key, right? And then write down the possible primary keys available in the player table. So like it says possible primary keys. That's something to think, right? That means there can be more than one field that can be qualified as a primary key, right? So it goes over here. The player ID is a unique one, so this can be taken as a primary. As well as student ID also showing the same characteristics. So either the player ID or the student ID can be taken as the primary key. So there are two candidates, player ID, student ID. So according to your choice, you can go with what's going to be the primary key. But when you are writing the answer, you have to mention about both player ID and the student ID as your answer because they are asking possible primary keys. So there are more than one fields that can be qualified as a primary key. So either it is the player ID or it is the student ID. Right? So this is how they have given the marks. For the part A, saying it is team ID, it's 1 mark. For part B, saying it is player ID, it's better they say player ID or student ID. Right? They have given you 1 mark. Right? Then the question is asked, the second part, which table or tables need to be updated to accommodate the following changes? A new student, Pierre Alvis, is admitted to the school and joined the under 17 cricket team. So if it is a new student, the student table needs to be updated. Right? So they can have a record over here. Since he is like participating on a particular team, then this particular table should be updated as well. Right? And a new student, Pierre Alves, is admitted to the school and joined under 17 cricket team in 2019. Yeah. I'm sorry, people. I have given you the wrong table. It's this table that needs to be updated. Right? So the team ID and the player ID and the year joined should be updated. The team table will be updated if there is a new play because under 17 cricket team is already over there. Right? So no need of having a new line or a new record in the team table. But the player underscore team table must be there. Right, so if it goes with the marking scheme, yeah, player, team. Those are the two tables, so 2 marks. And the B part, what they are saying is, Nimal Fernando is appointed the captain of the under-19 volleyball team. So if someone appointed as the captain, definitely the team table needs to be updated because the captain details are there in the team table. So it's what they have done is under-19 volleyball, isn't it? Yeah, under-19 volleyball team. So under-19 volleyball team. So for the moment, the captain is P1002. P1002 means it's the student called Raj Selva, the current captain. So Nimal Fernando is going to be the new captain. That means that captain ID needs to be changed P1006. So instead of P1002, they can use P1006. Right, and in the third part, it's a write down the new records to be added to the relevant tables for the change mentioned in part 2A. Use the format table name field 1, field 2 for each record. So they have given a note. Assume the PR Alvis is assigned the player ID P1120. Right. So according to the second part, A, we know like we have to update 2 different tables. So you can go and update those 2 different tables like this. The player table should be updated. Say P1120 PR Alvis S4205. The player underscore team should be updated as T2, P1120 2019. Right. So if those 2 are correct, 2 marks will be given. And the next question. In 2019, the school starts an under-17 football team. So a new team is there. So that means team table needs to be updated. And appoint Shane Almeida as the captain. So Shane Almeida is a student already in the school. Shane Almeida as the captain. Write down the new records to be added to the relevant table for the above changes. Again, use the format of this. So Shane Almeida is currently playing in under-17 cricket team. It doesn't matter. So we can have the hint that Shane Almeida is there in the school. So then we have to update the team table, right? So team table can be updated in this particular way. So a new team, T7 football under-17 P1005. And player team needs to be changed because the captain of the football team is given to the Shane Almeida. So like, then you have to say the T7 is the team, P1105 the Shane Almeida's the number, and the year of join, which is 2019. Right, so those things need to be updated. Right, and finally they're asking which table are to be joined to write a query to find the name of under-19 cricket captain. So if you are going to find the name of under-19 cricket captain, what are the tables that you are going to refer? Under-19 cricket captain. First, we have to see who is the under-19 cricket captain using here, P1002. And then you can go and check who has the player ID P1002, that is Raj Selva. right? So that is how that we are going to find the name of the underlying integer capital. So the tables that we have used is this one, which is the team table, and this one is the player table. So that's going to be the answer for your question as well. All right. See, the table team, and the table player are going to be the answers. Okay, see how much you got out of 10 people, and let me know as well. Okay, people, how's the mark? All right, Dinaka, very well done. Mastrika, very well done. Very good, very good. Osanda, very good. Right, so meanwhile, I'm moving to the next question, which is the fourth one. Yes, so the fourth one is about the HTML lesson. So it says, consider the following statement with blank labels A to F. Identify the most suitable term to fill each blank from the list given below. Yeah. And the first one says blank determines the correspondence between domain names and the IP addresses on the internet. So it's a very famous question now. DNS services, right? So this goes with A. Again, the B is used to transfer large files from one computer to another over the internet. That is FTP. So B goes with this. C is one of the most important protocols for email transport between email servers. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Then D says is the top level domain of the domain name www.ni.lk. Yeah, LK. The answer for D. E could be used to find out web pages whose URLs are not known. So you can use a search engine. And for F, it says separate the username and the domain name of an email address, which is @ symbol. That is for the F. Right, let's cross check with the marking scheme as well. Yeah, here it comes. DNS service, FTP, SMTP, LK, search engine, and @ symbol. All right. So the second part, they are asking you to like match some of the things, right? Again, with some labels. So yeah, web browser. What is the web browser? Mozilla Firefox. This goes with A. Programming language for dynamic web content creation should be the PHP, hypertext preprocessor, we call that. And web authoring tool, Composer is a web authoring tool. Content management system, that is D, which is Joomla. Right, so that's how the ABCD is answered. A, Mozilla Firefox, B, PHP, C, Composer, D, Joomla. Right, then comes the the output. So dengue fever, what is it and how to stop it? That is being center line, and the image is also center line. And these lines, even these lines also center line, and these empty spaces will give us the clue about, like, it can be managed with few number of elements. And when it comes to the table, there are 2 rows and 2 data fields. So they have create the first row without a doubt, and in the second row we have an ordered list. In the first, and here you got ordered list as the second TD, right? First TD is having an unordered list, second TD is having an ordered list, and this dengue prevention is working as a link. So those are things that you need to keep in your mind when you are filling the blanks of HTML. Right, so let's see. Right, so HTML is started, the title is there. Generally, title is at the head tag. Right, and this is the end tag as well. Number 2 comes with H1. And they have center line the things, and yeah, for to put the image 3 even is equal to img for 3. Right, and the 4th one says align center dengue fever is mosquito borne viral infection cause of yes. Yeah, all these things are gone with 4, so 4 is going to be a paragraph. And the 5th one, yeah, they are coming to the table now, right? So we have to start the 5th as table, and the 6th one going to be a TR. The 7 is going to be a TB. And the 8 is going to be unordered list. And the 9th, it is an ordered list. And 10th, it's href. Right, so if you got those things, you are going to have the marks like this. 1 is head, 2 is H2, 3 is IMG, H2, H1 is also okay. 3 is IMG, 4 is P, 5 is TR, 6 is TH. And 7 is TD, 8 is UL, 9 is OL, and 10 is HF. I got a problem with the 4. It wasn't the same answer that we had. 4. All right, so yeah, in the 4th we are, hold on, yes, I made a mistake over here, people. I made a mistake on the 5th, I guess, because the table tag is over here. Then the 5th is going to be TR. It seems 6 is going to be TH. Right, 5th is TR and 6th is going to be TH. Yes, that's the way that it's going to happen. So see how much you got out of this. It says 9 to 10 is correct, 5 marks. 7 to 8 is correct, 4 marks. 5 to 6 is 3 marks. 3 to 4 is 2 marks. 1 to 2 is 1 mark. Okay. Yes. How about the marks, people? All right, Asanda. That's very good. Sasrika, well done. Vinyanka, very good. That's it, yes. That's it, you can't come with a number like 16. It's only 1 mark they are giving here. Right, so yes, everyone is okay. Right, so yeah. And that's it. What should be the actual mark? Like, is it 16 or is it 8 or is it 6? Right. So moving to the next question, people. It's the Excel question. Yes. Now it's the they have given you a particular mark sheet which contains the Z score calculation, right? And they have given you some facts regarding that. All right. So what we have to do is we have to figure out how these things are being calculated. So in the first question, it asks, write down the formula that should be entered in cell C43. Calculate the average mark for the subject 1 in the form of equal function 1, cell 2. Right, so the average mark for C43. Yeah, over here. Right, how we are going to take the average mark? We have to start the range from here and see it up to there. So it is equal average C3 colon C43. or else you can write it from the other way around as well. Equal average C42 colon C3. Right, and they're asking, but after copying the above formula, write down the formula that will be appearing in D43. So if this is being copied to D43, so everything is relative, right? So C3 will become D3, C42 will become D42. Function name will not be changed. Right, so if you have written it correctly, they have given you 1 mark. Right. Okay. Moving upward. They are asking to give a particular, what do you call, an equation to calculate the Kamal's Z score for subject 1. So they have given us the particular the calculation. Right, yes, equation goes like this. It says Z score equals students' marks for the subject minus average marks for the subject divided by SD values. Right, so if we are writing the average mark for a subject, so what we can do is we have to go in the way that they have told us. Student marks for the subjects need to be taken. So student marks for the subject, where it is. Okay, so this is not giving me a chance. Okay. Student marks for the subject, that comes from here, and the average marks for the subject, that goes from here. And it says it divided by SD. Okay, so this is the standard deviation value of the subject, right? So when it is being copied to this cell, this particular cell, we don't need to worry about the absolute cell references if it is the only one that needs to be matched. But they are saying is they are going to copy this downwards by doing it the first one, right? So if you think about what's the way that they can take over here is like we can say equals, say students marks for the subject minus average marks for the subject. So student marks is coming from C3 minus average mark for the subject is C43 and divide by SD value, which is C44. Right, so from there you can take the answer for this particular one. But if you are going to copy it downwards, all your calculation is going to keep its reference over here for the average mark of the subject and for the SD value of the subject. Right, so because of that, you have to absolute what? The C43 should be written as $43 and C44. So the most suitable way is to put the dollar sign at the right hand when you need to have the absolution, or in other words, if not the right hand people, it's left hand. Like so, like if you want to keep the number unchanged, put a dollar sign to your left of the number, right? So C3 minus $43 divided by $44. In case if someone use the dollar sign over here, it does not do any changes, so still it is okay. Right, so let's see how the marks went over here. Yes, this is the average marking marks 2 and 1, and the set score, the question that we are talking about. So A is going to be C3 minus $C$43, they say, divided by $C$44. So if it does not need, it can go like this as well. Right. So be careful with the dollar sign, people. Right, and in the part B, they ask what happens if if it is copied to the some other particular place. What they have said. Yeah, write down the formula that used to be entered in cell F3 to calculate the commas stated group for subject 1. And in part B, it says in this formula is copied the cell range F4 to F42. Write down the formula that will appear in cell F42. Right, so it goes like this. I'm sorry, over here, C42 minus $43 and divided by $44. You can get the any way that you can see on the board. Right, in the last part, they are asking something, actually, but it's not the last part. Here they are asking like how you are going to take the average of the final essay score for student without using the average function. They ask you to use the sum and the count. Yes, so it can be written as equal sum F3 colon H3 and divide by count F3 colon H3. Right, so that's going to be the answer, or you can write like this as well. Right, 2 marks will be given. And as the final one, they are asking the maximum value or the maximum highest, I'm sorry, maximum PZ score. So you can say equals max I3 colon I42. Why it is I? Right? It is because it is in the ith column. Yes, over here. Okay, people, are we clear? Right. Right. So moving to the next one. Can we have the marks regarding the Excel? Okay. Vinelka, it's a good mark, but don't let it drop. Tehara, okay. All right. Moving to the sixth question. Yeah, this is regarding the SDLC. Right. So in this, what they are asking is, first they ask us to match it. So identification of requirements. We can go with the interviewing. That means S. Designing the interface. We can go with designing the solution, which is B. Writing the computer program, coding the solution, which is P. And testing and debugging, integration testing, R. And finally, adding new features to the system, that is maintenance. This is P. Right, so if you got that correct, this is how they have given the marks. The wrong place. Oh, yes, it's good. Yes, for A it is S, B it is Q, C it is P, D it is R. Right, so the part number 2. The bookshop in your school operates with a computer-based information system. When a student goes to buy a stationery, the clerk enters the item code and the quantity. They are asking to write down the input, process, and output. So here I am underlining the inputs from the web. The clerk enters the item code, one input, and the quantity, another input. The system then calculates the total cost. Yeah, calculate the total cost. It's the process for each item and the total bill value. So taking the total bill value, another process. And it says then the system displays the final bill on the screen and prints it. So the output, when you are writing the output, you can say final bill on the screen. right? And the printed bill, right? So that's the way. So any particular one chance, like one answer, will save you. Yeah, like this. Right, 1 mark for the A part. Here, people, some conflicts are shown in here. Oh no, it's okay. Yes, these are the inputs, item code or quantity, any one of those. And processing, calculating or computing, total cost of each items, calculating or computing, uh, total bill value, right? So only one is expected. And last one, any one of the table following the total cost of each item, total bill values. And the final bill, those are can be taken as the like input, process, and output in this scenario. So then 2 marks for 3 and 4, I'm sorry, that is the marking scheme over here. They are going to match this is SDLC related scenarios, labels, return tables, right? Did we match that? No, it says like this. So Lily is developing a library management system and told the teacher that she will not be able to use any part of the system. So the correct answer should go with the waterfall model because it is the only model which asks the requirement very first and are not changed into different thing under any circumstance. I'm sorry, I always go blah blah with that word. How we are going to pronounce that? Circumstances, yes. Right, so like it's the waterfall that they are displaying or describing the A, right? So with A, it should go with T then. After completion of small information system for the school canteen, ASMA designed to stop the existing system and operate the new system. That is direct deployment. E over here. After monitoring the new student information system initially introduced to the grade 6 classes, the principal plans to introduce the system to the other classes of the school. That goes with the pilot deployment, right? Final one, the initial system was developed with 2 input screens and 1 report. Based on the user feedbacks, 2 more input screens and reports were added to the system. More features are to be added based on further user feedbacks. So it's better we have something called the maintenance part, but maintenance is not here. So the only leftover is like iterative software development and the phase deployment. So it is much better if you go with the iterative software deployment. It is not 4. Right. Yeah. Right. I think there is some conflict regarding this D part in the marking scheme. As I remember, they go with the R. See, AT, BP, CS, and DR. Right, and they are asking in the next one, list two benefits of a computer-based information system over a manual information system. Uh, uh, Right, so these are the benefits, people. Just see whether you got it correctly. And as the marking scheme shows you, speed, efficiency goes together. Together means like they hold the same meaning, right? Not the different meanings. Right, so any two of these things will give you 2 marks. And see how much you got out of 10. Okay. Right. So since the time is up, people, I'm going to end the session from here. By next week, I'm going to discuss the final question of 2019, and as well as I'm going to discuss the 2020 MCQ paper. So get ready with the MCQ paper, and we are going to face to those as well. Right? Okay, people. So thank you very much. I'll see you all next week for the very same time. Yeah, the year is going to be the 2020 paper, right? 2020 paper. That's what you need to do. Then 2020.